The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 1990 to 1996, was more than just a sitcom. It was a cultural phenomenon that introduced the world to Will Smith and brought laughter, life lessons, and unforgettable characters into millions of homes. While the show continues to entertain new generations, time has taken its toll on the beloved cast. In this video, we reflect on the talented actors who brought the Banks family and their circle to life but who have tragically passed away. From unforgettable performances to personal struggles, we honor their contributions, explore their journeys, and remember the legacies they left behind in both television history and the hearts of fans. James Avery was born on November 27, 1945, and played the beloved character Philip Uncle Phil Banks on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 45. A successful lawyer and judge, Uncle Phil was the epitome of a stern yet loving father figure. However, behind the tough exterior was a man grappling with his own emotional struggles, from his strained relationship with his brother to his unfulfilled dreams of a life beyond family obligations. Avery's portrayal of Uncle Phil was one of complexity, capturing both his moments of comedic warmth and his darker, more vulnerable side. Despite the love and admiration he received for his role, Avery's career was often riddled with frustrations, unable to find roles that matched his caliber as an actor. He faced disappointments as Hollywood often relegated him to supporting roles. On a personal level, Avery's life wasn't free from turmoil. His marriage to Barbara was long-lasting, yet he never had children of his own, and their relationship was strained by his struggles with addiction, something he kept out of the public eye. His health began to deteriorate in his late 60s, culminating in a routine open-heart surgery in December 2013. Unfortunately, complications from the surgery led to his death, marking the end of a life filled with both achievements and silent battles. Sherman Hemsley was born on February 1, 1938, and portrayed the eccentric Judge Carl Robertson in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 52. Judge Robertson's larger-than-life personality often clashed with Uncle Phil's more grounded approach to life, making for comedic tension. While Hemsley's performance provided much-needed levity in the show, his own personal journey was marked by significant hardship and struggles that paralleled some of the dysfunction in his roles. His career was built on characters who brought laughter, but it wasn't without difficulty. Hemsley, who had a difficult time being recognized for his talents and a system that often typecast him, found himself frequently stuck in secondary roles. His fame from The Jeffersons, where he played George Jefferson, overshadowed much of his later career, and though he earned respect as a comedic force, it was clear he faced limitations due to his race and typecasting. Hemsley's personal life was far from ideal, his relationships were rocky, and he faced a deep loneliness that was rarely visible to the public. His only significant relationship was with a woman whom he lived with for many years, but this, too, ended without lasting commitment. Hemsley's health began to deteriorate as he grew older, culminating in a battle with lung cancer, which finally led to his death on July 24, 2012, at the age of 74. Virginia Capers was born on September 18, 1925, and became known for her portrayal of Hattie Banks, the warm, maternal figure in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 65. Hattie, the matriarch of the Banks family, brought wisdom and southern charm to the show, often offering sage advice and unconditional love to her family. Capers' performance captured the essence of a nurturing, yet strong character who, despite her calm exterior, had her own complicated emotional life. In her career, Capers initially found success on stage but transitioned to television later in life, where she earned recognition for her supporting roles. She had appeared in numerous stage productions and films, including The Great White Hope, but it wasn't until The Fresh Prince that she truly became a household name. Despite her notable talent, Capers' career was often overshadowed by the limitations of age and race in Hollywood. Her roles, though impactful, were frequently underappreciated, and she never quite reached the level of fame she deserved. On a personal level, Capers had one son, but her marriage ended in a painful divorce. This family fracture, along with a strained relationship with her son, left her with a deep sense of loneliness. Her health, which had always been a concern, worsened in her later years, leading to her death in 2004 at 78 from complications of pneumonia. John Amos, born December 27, 1939, played Fred Wilkes, Lisa Wilkes' father, in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990 at the age of 51. Fred is a protective and caring father who does whatever it takes to ensure his daughter's happiness and well-being. He values family above all else, and his strong moral compass is evident in the way he interacts with others. Amos' career began with great promise in the 1970s when he starred in Good Times, a groundbreaking sitcom that earned him widespread fame. However, after his departure from Good Times, Amos faced a rough patch in his career. While he continued to act in various roles, he struggled to find projects that matched his earlier success. His personal life, marked by 2 failed marriages, became even more tragic after the death of his daughter Shannon in 2006. Her loss was devastating, and it cast a long shadow over his life. Despite these personal and professional hardships, Amos kept working in the industry, though his heart was never fully in it. He found some solace in his role as Fred Wilkes, providing him with a sense of stability, but his emotional struggles continued to shape his performances. John Amos passed away on August 21, 2024, at the age of 84 from natural causes, leaving behind a rich, though bittersweet legacy that was shaped as much by personal tragedy as by his contributions to the entertainment world. Richard Roundtree, born July 9, 1942, played Dr. Mumford in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990 at the age of 48. Roundtree's career skyrocketed in the 1970s with his iconic role as John Shaft in the Shaft series, cementing his place in Hollywood history. But after that peak, his career faced many struggles as the industry moved on to other stars. Roundtree's personal life was similarly troubled. His first marriage ended in divorce, and the emotional scars of that failed relationship haunted him for years. Roundtree experienced the loss of his beloved second partner, a heartbreak that deepened his loneliness. Despite his fame, he faced numerous personal struggles, including battles with depression, as he tried to navigate life as an aging actor in an unforgiving industry. In 2012, he was diagnosed with breast cancer, an unusually rare condition for a man, and his health deteriorated quickly. His fight with cancer was long and painful, but he continued to work, hiding his illness from the public as best he could. Sadly, Roundtree passed away on October 24, 2023, at the age of 81 from pancreatic cancer, a painful reminder of how the personal turmoil he faced throughout his life impacted his final years. Dick Clark, born November 30, 1929, made an iconic cameo appearance as himself in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990 at the age of 61. Known as the world's oldest teenager, Clark became an institution in American television, hosting American Bandstand for decades and creating a long-lasting impact on the entertainment industry. Yet, his professional success was often overshadowed by a tumultuous personal life. Clark's first marriage to Carrie, his high school sweetheart, ended in a painful divorce, and his second marriage was no less fraught with difficulties. His deeply troubled love life, coupled with the loss of his only son, placed a significant strain on him emotionally. In 2004, Clark suffered a severe stroke that left him with lasting physical effects, and though he bravely returned to television, his health was never the same. Even as he continued to work, his personal struggles weighed heavily on him. Clark's indomitable spirit carried him through, but his late years were marked by increasing vulnerability, both physically and emotionally. He passed away on April 18, 2012, at the age of 82, due to a heart attack, leaving behind a complicated legacy filled with both triumph and personal sorrow. Quincy Jones, born March 14, 1933, appeared as himself in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990 at the age of 57. A legendary figure in music, Jones had an illustrious career, producing some of the most iconic albums in music history, including Michael Jackson's Thriller. Despite his immense professional success, Jones' personal life was rife with turmoil. He was married 3 times, and each of these unions ended in heartbreak. His love life was marred by infidelities and struggles with intimacy, which ultimately led to the dissolution of his marriages. His grief intensified with the loss of his daughter, Rashida, who passed away unexpectedly, leaving Jones emotionally shattered. His health began to decline in his later years, and he battled with loneliness as his closest family members and friends passed away. Though he was revered in the industry, Jones' personal struggles were not often spoken of in public. In the final years of his life, his legacy remained uncontested, but the toll of personal losses weighed heavily on him. Quincy Jones passed away on November 3, 2024, at the age of 91 from natural causes, leaving a career full of unparalleled musical achievements but also a life marked by deep emotional scars and personal loss. Isabel Sanford, born on August 29, 1917, portrayed Louise Jefferson in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 73. Louise Jefferson is a character brimming with grace and tenacity, a woman who holds her family together with unwavering support while providing a voice of reason amidst the chaos of life in Bel-Air. A strong matriarch, Louise's character is a loving, sharp-tongued woman whose wisdom and experience often guide others through difficult situations. Sanford's career was marked by this pivotal role, but beneath the polished exterior of her character, Sanford endured years of personal hardship. Her marriage to William Powers Sanford, which began in 1948, was marred by constant struggle, eventually leading to a painful separation. Their union, which had once been full of promise, crumbled under the weight of unresolved issues. Despite her success on screen, Sanford faced struggles with loneliness, and her efforts to maintain a stable life for her two children were marred by financial difficulties. In the later years, Isabel Sanford's health began to decline, and the toll of personal losses weighed heavily on her. By the time of her death on July 9, 2004, at 86, she had weathered decades of personal loss and struggle. Despite her resilience in her career, Sanford's personal life reflected a quiet sorrow that remained hidden behind the elegance of her most beloved roles. Pat Crawford Brown, born on June 17, 1929, played Lady in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 61. Lady is a lovable and comedic character, bringing a certain warmth and humor to the show, often making light of situations with her endearing quirks. However, the woman behind Lady's joyful persona had a life filled with heartbreak and turmoil. Brown's marriage to fellow actor George Brown ended tragically after a decade of financial struggles and emotional tolls caused by his infidelity. Their separation in the 1970s shattered Brown, leaving her to care for their two young children alone while dealing with the emotional scars of a marriage that once held great promise. Brown's career, though steady, never reached the heights she hoped for, leaving her with a sense of unfulfilled potential. In the years following the end of her marriage, she faced multiple health challenges and the burden of raising her children under difficult circumstances. By the time of her death on July 2, 2019, at the age of 90, Brown had spent much of her life fighting against personal losses, unable to shake the emotional weight of years spent trying to overcome her past struggles. Despite the joy she brought to audiences on screen, her off-screen life was marked by sadness and unrelenting hardship. Tony Longo, born on August 23, 1961, played Otis in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 34. Otis is a lovable, albeit mischievous character who often brings humor and a sense of lightness to the show. However, Tony Longo's life behind the scenes was full of personal turmoil. Longo's marriage to fellow actress Jean Longo ended tragically after years of domestic strife, stemming from his struggle with substance abuse. Their divorce in the early 1990s left Longo emotionally devastated, and he faced years of heartache as he tried to regain his footing in both his personal and professional life. Despite his comedic talents, Longo's career failed to reach its full potential, and he struggled with typecasting, which limited his opportunities. His ongoing health battles, particularly his heart condition, eventually led to his untimely death on June 20, 2015, at the age of 53. His passing left many in the entertainment community shocked and saddened, as he was a talented man whose personal demons ultimately overshadowed his promising career. His life, marked by a mix of laughter and deep sorrow, was tragically cut short. Zsa Zsa Gabor, born on February 6, 1917, portrayed Sonia Lammer in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 73. Sonia Lammer was a character defined by her opulence, an extravagant woman who epitomized the glamour of the Bel-Air lifestyle. Yet Gabor's personal life mirrored the chaos and turbulence that often accompany her public persona. Gabor had been married 9 times, each marriage a reflection of her search for stability and love, which ultimately eluded her. Her marriage to her final husband, Prince Frederick von Anhalt, was one of the few that lasted, but even it was filled with emotional drama and public scandal. Gabor's inability to find true happiness in her personal relationships haunted her for much of her life. She faced numerous financial difficulties, including being involved in lawsuits and financial disputes that drained her of her wealth. Throughout her life, Gabor struggled with health issues, including the amputation of her leg in the years leading up to her death, which further contributed to her sense of isolation. Her passing on December 18, 2016, at 99, marked the end of a life filled with glamour and tragedy, a woman who could never find true peace in her relationships and was ultimately worn down by the physical and emotional scars of her tumultuous life. Helen Page Camp was born on September 13, 1930, and portrayed the friendly Margaret Firth in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 60. Margaret was a neighbor of the Banks family, a kind and social woman who often played the role of a supporting character in the lives of Will and his relatives. Though her role was secondary, Margaret's presence in the show added warmth and a sense of community that balanced the more dramatic moments in the series. Camp's career was a series of small roles in television, but it was her work in The Fresh Prince that brought her the most recognition. Despite her late success, Camp faced struggles throughout her life, both in her career and personal life. She had been married twice, but both unions ended in painful divorces, leaving her with a sense of abandonment. Camp had no children of her own, and much of her personal life was marked by a deep sense of loneliness. As she grew older, Camp's health began to decline, and she faced a difficult battle with her own body's deterioration. In 1991, she passed away after suffering a stroke at the age of 60, leaving behind a legacy of kindness but a life marked by personal loss and isolation. Her death went largely unnoticed by the public, and those who remembered her from The Fresh Prince mourned the loss of a talented actress whose personal struggles had always been hidden behind her kind and loving on-screen persona. William Cort was born on September 28, 1936, and portrayed the strict headmaster Wallace Thorvald in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 54. As the disciplinarian headmaster of Bel-Air Academy, Thorvald was the embodiment of authority, often clashing with the free-spirited Will Smith. His role, though not a central one, left a memorable impact on fans due to his sharp wit and rigid demeanor. However, Cort's career was marred by frustration and limited opportunities. Despite his talent, he was relegated to minor roles in both television and film, often cast as authority figures or secondary characters. His acting career never took off as expected, leaving him feeling trapped in roles that didn't fully showcase his potential. This struggle with limited recognition weighed heavily on him, and personal hardships further complicated his life. Cort's private life was marked by a series of failed relationships and difficulties in his family life. His personal turmoil was compounded by his battle with depression, which he kept hidden from the public eye. These challenges were a source of deep inner conflict, and despite his accomplishments, Cort found it difficult to find peace in his personal life. His death on September 23, 1993 at 57, from cancer came as a devastating blow, a tragic end to a life that was filled with unfulfilled potential and personal struggles. Macon McCalman, born on December 30, 1932, portrayed Dr. Baylor in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the age of 58. Dr. Baylor is a kind-hearted, dedicated physician who takes great care in attending to the Banks family's health needs, often offering wise advice with a caring hand. McCalman's career, which spanned both television and film, was highlighted by his warm portrayal of Dr. Baylor, but behind this caring character, McCalman's personal life was filled with heartache. His early marriage to Linda Parker, which produced 2 children, fell apart in the early 1970s due to the intense pressures of McCalman's rising career, leaving him emotionally bruised and questioning his worth. His second marriage, to actress Mary Sue Phelps, ended similarly, with McCalman citing deep emotional fatigue and a growing disconnect from his personal life. The pain of these failed relationships and a crippling struggle with depression marked his later years, as he felt increasingly isolated. McCalman was diagnosed with cancer, a battle he fought privately in the final years of his life. His passing on November 29, 2005, at 72, from complications related to cancer, was a tragic end to a life full of emotional burdens that never truly found peace, his death marking the end of a quiet but painful chapter in his life. Hugh Dane, born October 21, 1942, portrayed Fred Lomax Jr. in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1992 at the age of 50. His character was a dependable, down-to-earth friend of the Banks family, providing moments of levity and support. However, behind his calm and reliable exterior, Dane's personal life was marked by profound loss. He experienced a tragic divorce, a deep emotional wound that would affect him for the rest of his life. His most painful experience came when his wife Linda passed away in a sudden and unexpected manner. The loss of his wife sent Dane into a deep spiral of grief, and he never fully recovered. The heartbreak of losing his partner, combined with the emotional burden of living with the pain of her absence, caused him to struggle both personally and professionally. As if that wasn't enough, Dane was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2017, a devastating blow that left him in physical and emotional agony. Despite fighting valiantly, his illness progressively took a toll on him, and he was unable to continue his career. He passed away on May 16, 2018, at the age of 75, leaving behind a legacy marked by personal triumphs overshadowed by the deep scars of emotional pain and loss. Who is your favorite character in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? How do you feel knowing that the actors have passed away? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much.